Yeah, so I'm an graduate at Auburn University, and my background is electrical engineering. My degree's in that, but I've also done electronics, embedded systems, and code for electronic boards. My last job, that's what I did full time. And joined your course somewhere around midway of 2017. Started my first site at that time, and I believe my first one I got it rolling in. I think it was June or early July of 2017. So we're somewhere over 2.5 years or so for the main one, and then just a little bit less time for my second site. Uh, and it's been a progressive thing. And as of before my birthday, July of 2019, I hit my goal where if I wanted to, I could leave my job. So I thought about it, hard decision, but all the signs pointed to yes. And so September was my last day working full time. So
Awesome.
I'm free now.
Congratulations. I know, in fact, I was just talking to someone today and they were like, Is it everyone's goal to like quit their job?" It's a younger guy, younger than us anyway. And he's sort of like at the beginning of his career, a lawyer, in fact. So a professional, very intelligent guy. But he was like, is everyone just trying to quit their job? And I don't know. So it depends on each individual. I wasn't trying to quit my job, but I eventually got laid off. Like when you got started with this stuff, Marty, were you thinking, "Hey, I want to quit my job," or you were like, "Hey, this is fun and interesting"?
Oh my gosh, yeah, I was with a burning passion. I wanted to leave in engineering, which is unfortunate because originally it was something I really liked as a hobby and learning on my own. But it wasn't too long after a couple of years of working professionally, I just felt so trapped and the having to change jobs and living in different cities just to get more money and feeling so trapped. I just very, very passionately wanted to finally get free. When I found out that was possible on the internet, other people doing it, that was amazing to me, and that just fueled the fire even more. So that's how I got down this path to begin with.
Okay. And how many years of engineering work did you have under your belt at that point?
Probably, gosh, let's see, that's 15, 20 or something.
Okay.
Yeah.
Gotcha. So it's kind of funny from like where I have a similar degree, computer engineering. So I took a bunch of double E classes. I got into management consulting because maybe I wasn't as good of an engineer or something. I'm not sure. But what I observed was number one, when I looked at people that were like 15 years ahead of me, I was like, well, I don't want to do that. I'm like, if that's the goal, that doesn't seem right. And then the other part is like long hours. Even if you did really well, you were looking at pretty small bonuses if you got one at all, and very small raises. So I see you nodding, but like, can you describe, like your situation, and then how do you feel when you have a job where you're like, I'm smart, I'm accomplishing a lot, and then I'm not getting rewarded for it?
That's very discouraging, and I mean that alone is not great. But a lot of times, my personal experiences were that I had that, plus also I had other things on top of that, like my opinion doesn't count, burning out from just repeatedly working on late hours, working on frustrating technical stuff and on some weird design, and I'm stuck with it and just hating it, hating the work. So for me it was a number of things, but that is definitely a big factor because I can look back now seeing this is possible to make some even more money than I ever would as an engineer, which is crazy because this is actually more enjoyable. It's easier work. That's it's fascinating that you get rewarded for your being motivated, making your own decisions, win or lose. The payoff can be huge as opposed to engineering, where yeah, just like you said, some and just only a few jobs where any kind of bonuses available at all. And cross your fingers, you might get just a tiny raise if anything at all.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, it's ridiculous. And then we'll move on from us complaining about the corporate world. But basically, I remember actually most of the companies that I worked for, they're like, oh, yeah, if you come up with a great idea, maybe you can get a patent. But the company owns it. So you get like maybe a tiny bonus, which is nowhere close to the value of the patent. Sure, the company may be able to push the patent in a certain way, but like when they were telling us about it, I was like, oh yeah, like you get all this recognition, but like the payoff is like nothing
mm,
overall. So I don't know, the whole the whole system's broken. Nah, I don't know. That's going a little too far. There's a lot of hard stuff about what we do. The cool thing, right? At this point, you make your own decisions. So how challenging is that to figure out like what to work on, how to do things, and so on?
Personally, I think when you're a beginner, it can be kind of hard. But once you got the ball rolling and you've got a better understanding of things and you've got more experience and some success, I think personally I feel like it becomes more clear and it becomes easier. At this point, it's just mostly that I have had a good work ethic when I was doing it in my spare time. So I built those good habits. Now it's just more of the same. And then the more I learn from other people too, I begin to get a clear picture of what I should be spending my time and effort on. Or I like to use the word resources because it can be a lot of things, time, money, blah blah blah.
Sure.
It's
Cool.
gotten easier though. I feel like.